In our recollection, at least 200 Belizeans trekked along this much-used contraband path which meanders along the Mopan River, just outside the chain-link fence surrounding the official border station. It connects Belize directly to Melchor without having to go through that inconvenient immigration checkpoint. On Sunday morning, the brisk contraband trade was inconvenienced further, at least for a couple hours, by these Belizeans who came to pay a visit to the Garbutt Falls Monument, a leaning cement pillar which lies directly on the borderline between Belize and Guatemala.
I don't know what happened to the people of Raindrop. We only sounded the call, and they started signing up, paying the $10 and coming over. We had to close off at 4 buses because we are on our own, and we were concerned about security, and so we closed off at 4 buses. I don't know Raindrop. I think it's something in the water.
This is my first time over here, getting to know this monument over here, and I think it is very important not only for me but for all of us that came for our first time here. This gives us the opportunity to see where our markers are, that we don't have an imaginary line, but we have a border.
I applaud everybody that came out here today. It really motivate us and the territorial volunteers for really continuing what we're doing. Belizeans are waking up, and especially when we have a foreign minister that continue to make reckless statements like this. I think that those statements are one of the things that motivate people to come out and show the world that yes, we have a border. Right in front of me is Garbutt Falls. How can you mistake that and say that you don't know where our borders are? On this side is Belize, the other side is Guatemala. It's clear, it's defined, it's written in the law, it's in our constitution. So for us to neglect this area is a shame on the government of Belize.
With machetes and paintbrushes, these patriotic Belizeans cleared away some of the encroaching bushes and painted the marker. Any clearing around this pillar or leading to it is not by any initiative of government, but rather by Guatemalans who use the path to freely traverse between countries.
I believe that that the government, any party in government, shouldn't wait until there's a move of the people. I think that they should be clearing our borders all the time. I think our borders should be clear all the time, because whenever we have, and you can see it in Belize, when you have your own land and you don't have your markers, as they said, any people can come in and invade your area that you have.
These symbolic gestures are meant to draw government's attention to the border, but there is a wider position which resounds with the volunteers. They are against going to the International Court of Justice and angry because they feel GOB is not standing up as it should for our territorial integrity. And they are angry because of the latest revelations that Foreign Minister Wilfred Elrington is traveling to Guatemala to sign an amendment to the compromise.
I think that the Belizean people need to turn the pressure up. I hope that the Foreign Minister get his wits within him and cancel the trip. It is absolutely ridiculous that he will leave, go to Guatemala, sign something that's going to affect every Belizean, and no Belizean was consulted. And don't give us this garbage about it's not a big deal. If you are leaving your country to go all the way over there to do something that will affect the lives of every Guatemalan and every Belizean, how are you going to tell the Belizean people that it's not a big deal? It is a big deal.
The Northern Territorial Volunteers are clearly against going to the ICJ. I believe that the efforts you will see from the Northern Territorial Volunteers will be vigorous in their campaign against going to ICJ. Like we have stated before, going to the ICJ is similar to taking your land title to a group of 5 or 7 foreign judges and asking them to determine, to make a ruling between you and your neighbor. And this ruling that they will state is binding. So it's like you are taking your title, going to the judge and say, here is my title, take it. You all decide what you will do with Belize, and whatever you decide, we will agree.
The issue has taken on political undertones, perhaps more so because the opposition has just released a firm position on not going to the ICJ. But for those who travel to the sites with the territorial volunteers, or at least for most of them, it transcends politics.
Well, simply because I'm a Belizean, and as a Belizean, we need to know the different parts of our country. And this is a historical moment whereby we're experiencing and we're visiting a site which is very important in our country. And we pray that our government continues safeguarding, you know, and seeking a peaceful, constructive relationship whereby we live nearby our neighbors and that we can live together as one nation, as one people, together with our neighbors, that we can, you know, come together and compromise and live together as one.
The group departed just after midday, no doubt a relief to the contrabandistas whose trade we disturbed for that little while. Mike Rodon for News 5.